Here's one of the latest interviews from Rock and Metal Revival. If you want to hear the whole show, go to rmrshow.com. There's brand new music from a band called the Devil City Angels, Jerry. It's called All I Need on Rock and Metal Revival, and it's been a while since we had the Devil City Angels on this show.
Yeah, they've changed.
They've changed, that's right, and we want to welcome back friend of the show, Brandon-Gibbs, to the show. Welcome to the show, Brandon.
Hey, man, it's good to be back. I missed my home up there, man. I hope to see you guys soon.
Well, hey, Wisconsin hasn't changed much. We've got 2 months of summer and 10 months of winter.
Yeah.
So
cheese and sausage.
True.
Yep.
You know that going into it, baby. Bundle up.
Well, hey, we are really excited. I got a chance to listen through the new album from Devil City Angels, and man, you guys are killing it.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. That was that was a good year in the making on that record, and in between was touring like mad. So there was a lot of things to work around during that. So I'm glad that people like it. We definitely did. We definitely put 100% in it, and I'm really, really proud of the record. I can't wait till it comes out.
Well, the last time we had you on the show, we played the song "All My People," and you were on the show with our friend Eric Brittingham. Now, Eric's no longer in the band. Now, you got Rudy Sarzo. What happened with the change there?
It's one of those things where, we all put a good foot forward and making this record complete and touring, and sometimes people just they got to back off and do what's right for them. And unfortunately with Devil City, we don't tour we're not touring as much right now, and it just kind of turns into a scenario where it's like, I need to get into some other things for certain people, and he called our manager and said that that's what he was going to do, and no hard feelings on our end at all, so
cool.
They hired then I got a call that said Rudy Sars. I was actually in Florida hanging out on the beach when all this was happening. I didn't really know what was going on, great bass player, great guy. I just have to sit back and respect his opinion to move on to what he wants to do, And
yeah.
Rudy decided to express a little interest, and they nabbed him, and I actually haven't even played show one with Rudy. I've done a music video with him and hung out. That's about it. I'm looking forward to jamming with him.
Rudy gets screwed all the time, though. He was in Quiet Riot after it was recorded. He joined Ozzy's band after Diary of a Madman, even though he got credit for it. No, but
right, yeah,
good
I've
bass player though.
With him, super cool guy though. I mean, for not being in the touring scenarios with us and writing and all that, he's the first guy that he answers the email right away. He answers the social media. You would have thought that he had been in the band for years, and so that's a great attitude to have. If he didn't have any stake in the writing, he's definitely showing that he wants to be a team player. And that's from what I got from Rudy Sarzo right out of the gate. I'm very pleased with that.
Yeah, he's a class act, man. We have always enjoyed talking with him. Yeah, and so what's going on? Are you joining Poison or what?
I've been with this version of
guest.
Poison for a little while now, and I love doing it. I kind of, it's weird. I just go out, I'm going out with my friends Ricky, Bobby, and CC.
Yeah,
nice.
And whatever we get ourselves into, and it's just great to see those guys. When I was 16, I was opening for these guys and running out front to watch their show and see what a real rock show was, and now at 30 years old to be jamming with Ricky, CC, and Bobby, it's just kind of, it's crazy. I have to pinch myself, It's like I get nervous from time to time because I wonder if people are going to like it, and then I go, you know what? People want to see these three legends in metal on stage, and if this is how they want to go about doing it, then this is how we're going to make music, So that's what I call it, me jamming with those guys,
Exactly.
Friends.
Brandon, I look at this, and we're from small town Midwest Wisconsin, and you're from Iowa, Midwest guy. growing up, did you ever think that you'd be standing on stage and you'd look to the one side and see Tracy Guns, you look to the other side, Rudy Sarzo, and behind you, Ricky Rocket?
No, not at all.
That'd be cool.
It was funny, that call I got right when I got back from my European tour with a band called Cheap Thrill, which was, that we did some of my originals, but we kind of celebrated each person's history. That was what that band was. And I got back, and I'm like, you know what? I seriously, the same day, it's not a joke, I sat down, my parents came to visit me to welcome me back, and in my house in Nashville, and I got this text. I told my mother, I'm like, listen, I'm going to back away from this just for a little while because I want to record for no other reason other than the fact that I want to record a record with original material and get these thoughts out. And in order to do that, I'm going to need to take a little break from this group. And she's like, well, that's what you want to do. And literally, Ricky, 5 minutes later, I sat down and Ricky texted me, and he said, hey, dude, you, me, Tracy Guns, let's do this. And I was like, are you kidding me? He goes, well, let's do this, kind of. You'll find out tonight. And I was like, okay, that must mean that I would need to have a conversation with Tracy, it being their concept. And Tracy called me that night and, hey, man, what's going on, dude? Let's talk a little bit about songwriting, talked about, this and that. And next thing you know, we didn't have a bass player. And, of course, my history with Eric, it was nice that they said, well, bring Eric in. And next thing you know, it's like, wow, all right, off to the races. So, no, I didn't think that at all. I wanted to go record original material, but I was going to do it on my own. I didn't know that I was going to be involved with these legends in metal history. And, when you're standing in a meet and greet sometimes, it's like, wow, I used to be the guy on the other side.
Exactly, exactly. Now, with the new album, the self-titled debut, how many of those songs, Brandon, did you actually have written before you joined up with Devil City Angels?
I had All My People, Ride With Me, Goodbye Forever, and I'm Living, written. Goodbye Forever was written on my solo EP that I did in 2011, that I did kind of for fun. And then we just, and the other stuff would be Gibbs Brothers songs, some of them that I did with Ricky Rocket 10 years ago, demoed at his studio that he had called The Hit Shed. And so the Gibbs Brothers, we kind of picked and choose which Gibbs Brothers songs we wanted to revamp. And Tracy would put, some good guitar voodoo on there, and Ricky would, hey, well, let's try a new arrangement. These songs are 10 years old now, And so it was kind of a fresh. It was fun to start, my career with Devil City Angels, reaching back into my old career, and getting a new spin on, what we got here. And it kind of came out kind of 70s rock. It was pretty cool.
So are there any idea of how you guys are going to work out touring, considering like Rudy's in 3 bands, Tracy's in a couple, and then you've got other things?
It makes my head spin just thinking about it. We're all, and that's the wonderful thing about being in the Devil City Angels, is everyone has this passion to keep playing and keep creating music, and Tracy does, and Rudy and Ricky and I obviously are in couple different projects together now, and pulling all of that together, our plan is really to kind of let the record come out, and let it marinate and let people dig these songs, and then go out when everyone is available and just blast them in the face with these songs, and maybe a couple that you might have heard on some of their records, or a few of mine. So it's going to take a little bit of time. We want the record to come out. We kind of put the cart in front of the horse, but we did it because we wanted to. We went out first and then got our record deal on the road and came back and recorded, And so we just wanted to say hi. We're a band. Love you guys. And check out what we're doing. And that was what we did. And we did a long time of it. And then, now the record is going to come out, and we're going to see how the people like it. And then we're going to see them on the road.
Very cool. Brandon, I can remember back the first time I ever met you and got to see you play with your brother and Eric. You guys did a gig here, and you guys are doing your own tunes. You're doing some Karabi tunes, some Cinderella tunes. It's got to be good for you personally to actually get out there and play your own music now, doesn't it? I mean, to say, hey, this is mine.
Yes. Yeah, you can make a nice little career being the guy that provides the other, the voice for the other songs. But that was the frustrating part with my career, was I was doing that, and it had to change as I get older. It's like, okay, I need to brand myself and get find myself. I love writing. I have these songs, and it's refreshing walking out and going, all right, here's a song called, Boneyard. Here's a song called No Angels. Here's the story behind that. And that was just kind of honestly what had always been missing in my career, was that, done stamp on, okay, this is Brandon's voice. He's the voice behind this amazing, lineup we have going. So, yeah.
So I haven't had a chance to listen to the album yet because Red won't share music.
I'm not sharing it.
He doesn't share music, so I've got to wait until it comes out. But the real question I got is there any tracks that are going to feature some cowbell?
Oh my gosh, I really think there's a couple tracks with a bunch of cowbell, and probably, I think Ricky danced about the studio while he was playing that cowboy. It was going to capture his energy.
Nice. Was he wearing too tight of a sweater? Was he wearing too tight of a sweater?
He had the sweater was up to his nipples. That was it was hard to stay focused, but that's how he got in the zone.
Hey,
I looked at him. I said, "Don't ruin this for us, Gene." I mean, Ricky.
He's going to have us wearing gold diapers.
You're going to be wearing gold-plated diapers.
Yeah.
Hey,
I don't know what that means.
hey, Brandon, the album release comes out, what, September?
I think it's September 18th.
That's what I was thinking, yeah. And it'll be available in all your local media outlets?
Absolutely. I know they're doing some pre-orders right now with bundled packages and stuff like that, but I think All I Need and Boneyard are available right now on iTunes. And it'll be available. We'll have, you can follow us individually, Brandon, Ricky, Rudy, Tracy, our Facebook, our Twitters. Devil City has a Twitter and a Facebook as well. But we're all pretty, that's the one thing about the four of us, is like we're all on top of the social media. And,
very cool.
That's one thing I've always liked about Rocket and Tracy. It's like we'll sit up on the front of the bus and we'll just flat out ask fans questions, and we'll actually sit there and respond when we have time. So we're pretty accessible to our fans and let everyone know what's going on in their lives.
Do you sit next to each other and text each other?
I got to be honest. I think I've sent Tracy a few texts from my bunk. Like, hey man, is there any Pringles left up there? I'm not going to get out. Nice. Drink all the Jack. The door will open. Why don't you just come up here and ask me? I don't know if I want to come up there right now. I think I'm good. I do it to my tour manager more than anything.
Nice.
Okay, let's stop. Where are we stopped at right now? Brandon, you can get out and look. You can open a window. Okay.
Nice.
Hey, Brandon, where can they find those bundles?
You can go to our Facebook.
Okay.
Devil City Facebook. We have links posted on that. We have links posted on my Facebook. But I would start at the Devil City Twitter, Devil City Facebook.
Okay, because
those are ran by we stop in and play around with it. But right now the record label's got a person that's taking care of updating those bundled packages and getting them links and everything that they need to find that stuff. So.
All right, cool. Well, my last question there is there vinyl?
Is there what now?
Is there going to be a vinyl?
Actually, there is.
Excellent.
There is, and I'm looking forward to putting that sucker on my wall.
That's what I'm talking about, yeah. So, hey, well, we're going to play Boneyard. You want to tell us a little bit about this tune?
Yeah, Boneyard. Boneyard was a lot of fun to write. That was we started out. It actually started out with it was a Gibbs Brothers kind of template, and then we're like, Tracy's like, well, check this riff out, and he kind of threw this Stonesy riff in it. and Ricky Rocket and I, and we went to the studio and we're like, oh man, let's just write about something crazy. Let's a crazy movie. Let's talk about a correctional officer that is in love with an inmate, and sometimes they slip away and do their thing. And don't ask me how. I think Ricky wrote the verse at a Subway. And he comes back like, check this out. I'm like, what in the heck is that? I like it, So it's just a fun kind of, kind of a sexy rock song. It's fun.
All right, well, we're going to play Boneyard. This is Devil City Angels. Brandon Gibbs, you are always welcome back on Rock and Metal Revival.
Always good to be here, man. Keep me in mind anytime. Let's chat soon.
To catch the whole show of Rock and Metal Revival, all you have to do is check it out on these affiliates. Mega Rock Radio's on Saturdays from 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and on Uncontrolled Noise Tuesdays at 1 a.m., Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and on Saturday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern on UncontrolledNoise.com. And make sure that you leave them a message and tell them that you found Rock and Metal Revival on their stations. Enjoy this edition of Rock and Metal Revival.